The jury in the Amber Guyger murder trial began deliberations after receiving the case this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Steve Egan.
And I'm Heather Hayes. Jurors have three options. They can convict Guyger of murder or a lesser charge of manslaughter, or they can find her not guilty of any crime.
In closing arguments today, prosecutors said Guyger intended to kill her upstairs neighbor, Botham Jean, and never considered more reasonable options. Her attorneys, the defense, argued that she was acting in self-defense based on the facts as she believed them to be at the time. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has the closing arguments from both sides from the courthouse tonight. Sean.
Yeah, Steve, Heather, the defense attorneys also told these jurors, listen, we know it's a lot of public pressure, a lot of scrutiny on this case, but that the law is on the side of Amber Guyger. If you follow the law, she's not guilty. Prosecutors told this jury that there has been injustice prevailing in Dallas for over a year, but that you today can restore justice.
This is about a reasonable person under the same circumstances. That is what you have to decide.
An emotional appeal to jurors from prosecutor Jason Fine, who told them they were the voice of the community and that Amber Guyger's actions were unreasonable September 6 last year when she shot and killed Botham Jean.
A guilty verdict is not saying you don't like police. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with that defendant making unreasonable decisions that put her in that seat and Bo in the ground. That's what this case is about.
You have to view it from all the facts surrounding the case and under her circumstances, from her viewpoint.
Toby Shook, one of Guyger's attorneys, asked jurors to remove the emotion prosecutors are trying to interject, reminding them Amber Guyger had a right under Texas law to self-defense.
The state of Texas must prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant wasn't acting in self-defense. And if they can't do that, it's not guilty. Same thing on mistake of fact. If they can't prove the defendant wasn't operating under mistake of fact beyond a reasonable doubt, the instructions are clear, it's a not guilty. That is the law.
Lead defense attorney Robert Rogers told jurors prosecutors did not make their case against Guyger.
The state has failed to do their duty. We actually, even though we have no duty, we showed you how this was a reasonable mistake. The state, what did they bring you? Sexting and speculation. Everything that they have done has been to try to distract you and trick you from looking at the law in this case.
Because of what she did, this is all I can bring in.
Lead prosecutor Jason Hermas holding up a picture of Botham Jean to jurors, telling them there were many clues Amber Guyger missed on her way to his fourth-floor apartment.
And this is the one that just can't be overcome. There was no other floor mat like this in the entire building.
Adding, justice needs to happen in this courtroom today.
By your verdict, you can also tell her you will be held responsible for what she did. And whether or not you want to accept responsibility, it is going to be forced upon you. And by God, in Dallas County, Texas, there will be a consequence for you walking in and shooting an unarmed, defenseless man.
And Jason Hermas said Botham Jean proved no threat at all to Amber Guyger and that they proved every element of murder. Again, the defense told this jury this was simply a tragic mistake, saying the law allows for mistakes. Heather?
Yeah, and Sean, the judge then allowed the jury to consider the defense that Guyger made this mistake of fact, meaning she believed something to be true, but it wasn't. So talk about the significance that could then have on the jury's decision.
So in the charge to the jury that both sides had to agree on before it was read to them, 13-page document, there were strong objections from the state over including in the jury charge what is known as the mistake of fact. And it was attorney Doug Gladden who argued for the state. He really objected to this because he says, in essence, what it says is if you find the actions of Amber Guyger reasonable in going to the wrong apartment, then you must acquit acquit. He says this allows for no culpability, for her to have no accountability for intentionally killing an innocent man. And they wanted the judge to strike that from the jury charge. Judge Tammy Kemp left it in, saying that she was going to leave it up to the triers of fact to determine whether Amber Guyger's actions were reasonable the night of September 6, 2018, when she in fact did go to the wrong floor, wrong door, shooting and killing Botham Jean.